Good morning! How's it going? Let's have a new English lesson. Today, we are going to know the text editing marks. They are lines we use to indicate the needed changes in a text that has some errors. In example, when a proper noun is not capitalized or when a word is misspelled. Well, let me show you those marks and what they mean. When there's a word that must begin with capital letter, like the first letter in a sentence, a proper noun like names and surnames, nationalities, and so, we trace 3 horizontal lines below the letter to be capitalized. If the error is on the opposite, I mean that there's a capital letter that must be changed into lowercase, we use a diagonal line crossing over the 3 horizontal lines. When the error is in the spelling of a word, we use diagonal lines to indicate that a letter must be added or replaced. Near the diagonal line, we write the letter to be added or the replacing one. Observe that for adding, we trace the line in the space between letters, but we cross the letter to be replaced. If the text needs any punctuation mark, such as a comma, period, semicolon, or colon, we trace a peak with the punctuation mark inside, like this. Now, focus your attention on how to use editing marks to correct a text. Lights, camera, action! The teacher told us we have to observe these texts and the editing marks on them to explain the reason for every mark. So, in both texts, the first letter of the sentence needs to be changed into capital letter because that's the correct way to begin a sentence. Then, British and Chinese are nationalities. And I remember that nations and nationalities must be capitalized, as well as the days of the week, the name of the months, and the names of people. Oh, I see. That means that Jenner is the surname of this doctor, Edward Jenner. Okay. Now, this is a spelling error because applied has double P. In the text too, the word acupuncture is not written with a K, but with a C. Here, an H must be added to have the word then. I have to insert a comma for the number and the closing period, but I'm not sure with this editing mark below the F in first. The editing mark indicates to change for lowercase, but this is already written in lowercase. Oh, I see. What I need to change is the word vaccine because it is capitalized, but it's a common noun. It must be in lowercase. So I need to mark the V for lowercase. Okay, so here the correction of both texts. Now I can send my work to my teacher. Cut. How to do it well? Step 1. I verify that the proper nouns are capitalized. Otherwise, I trace 3 horizontal lines below the initial letter. Step 2. I scan the text for common nouns that might be wrongly capitalized. If so, I trace the corresponding editing mark. Step 3. I check for spelling errors to correct with the help of the dictionary and use the editing marks to correct any error. Step 4. I rewrite the text considering all the corrections I identified and marked before. ¿Cómo hacerlo bien? Paso 1. Verifico que los sustantivos propios estén con mayúscula. De lo contrario, trazo 3 líneas horizontales debajo de la letra inicial. Paso 2. Busco en el texto si hay sustantivos comunes que inicien erróneamente con mayúscula. Si es así, trazo la marca de edición correspondiente. Paso 3. Reviso los errores de ortografía con ayuda del diccionario y uso las marcas de edición para corregir cualquier error. Paso 4. Reescribo el texto considerando todas las correcciones que haya identificado y señalado anteriormente. It's time for your independent practice. In your Come Together Students Book 1, page 136, Activity 2. You will use the editing marks in that exercise to correct the sentences. Then, on the line, you will rewrite the sentences in the correct version. Once you're done with that activity, solve your exit ticket in page 138, Activity 6. Obviously, you will use all the editing marks to check the text and make the corrections. Remember to always follow the steps to do it well. I hope you a great success. Ready to do it? Super duper. Bye bye.